So this week wasn't the best week. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Disney, the more layoffs that happened this week, and Disneyland Paris closing, what we can do to at least show some appreciation or help cast members. What do the actor unions and performers unions have to do with all of this? And Disneyland California. Pretty much, if you guys weren't aware, Disney laid off a lot of entertainers, a lot of performers from a lot of stage shows. And it was really disheartening to hear that. If you guys have been living under a rock, you guys would know that the end of September, I believe, Disney did announce that they were going to be laying off almost 28,000 people. From what I heard in the grapevine, the first people to go were managers. Now, I did go to Disney World just a couple weeks ago, and the vibe was definitely off with a lot of cast members. I remember overhearing a couple of cast members speaking Spanish at one of the stores at the Swan and Dolphin, or the merch store at Swan and Dolphin, and they were just talking about how like they knew people who've been working there for decades or for years and got laid off. And it's just it was such a weird energy. If I'm not even gonna lie to you, it was a kind of a weird energy when I went to Disney amongst cast members, because you could tell that there was a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of stress in the air. So yes, Disney has laid off more employees, specifically performers. Disney did release an official statement on these layoffs, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because it is pretty long. But this came amidst when the news broke that a lot more Disney cast members, specifically entertainers, were getting laid off. They pretty much said, we've had to, and I'm just reading like bits and pieces of it, recently we had to make some difficult decisions to reduce our workforce as the business impacts from the COVID-19 pandemic and have become more long-lasting than anyone could have predicted. As a result, we've had to pause many live shows, entertainment experiences at our resort for longer than originally anticipated. Now, as far as like seeing which shows will come back, if they will come back, or are they just permanently done, Disney did say determining which shows can return and when is a complex process. As with the rest of our phased reopening, we will also consider the guidance of health officials and government agencies in determining when the time will be to adjust capacity, and as soon as it is appropriate, we will start to bring additional entertainment back. So for the most part, they do say for the first time forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration that actually recently, I think that is the first stage show to come back to Disney World, and that is, of course, is at Hollywood Studios. The Mainstream Philharmonic at Magic Kingdom, Discovery Island Drummers, those are still up and about. The Voices of Liberty, the Janitors, and the Mariachi Cobra is still at Epcot, but they're performing at the American Pavilion, and I was there. They for the Mariachi Cobra performance during the Food and Wine Festival, they were all like 6 feet apart. Everybody was seated 6 feet apart, all of that stuff. So Disney cast members and performers got that dreaded email that everybody is kind of not wanting to receive right now, that they're pretty much laid off. And amongst the shows that were cut were Beauty and the Beast Live, such a good show, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, the Hoop-Dee-Doo Musical Review at one of the resorts, Citizens of Main Street, Festival of the Lion King, and Finding Nemo the Musical. And again, I was reading a lot of the articles that talked about this, and pretty much a lot of these performers have been performing at Disney for years, some of them even decades. It's a really sad thing. Now, there's a little bit of another situation going on, because the Actors Equity, if you guys don't know what the Actors Equity is the union that represents stage performers, like people who actors who are on Broadway, cruises, national tours, stage plays, professional stage theater, all of that. The Actors Equity represents those actors. And there's even a little bit of drama going on with the Actors Equity and SAG-AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA, for those of you guys who don't know, is a union that represents actors who perform in film and on television and on the big screen. And let's just say they're not really on the same terms. They're kind of like on different pages right now. Broadway is closed. As a matter of fact, Broadway is closed until next summer, from what I heard. So, you know, Broadway's trying to figure out, like, okay, how can we still make money during this time, and what can we do? And they've been releasing a lot of live recordings of like theater, like for example, Hamilton was released on Disney Plus this summer. Broadway's closed, obviously. Let's try to get some theater on demand for people so they can at least watch the magic and we can still like make a little bit of money. But with that being said, there comes SAG-AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA is like, hey, we do all things and everything when it comes to film. You're not playing fair, blah, 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 blah. And Actors Equity like, hey, but what about our stage managers and our crew? And there's just, you know, it's kind of disheartening to see your own unions be divided. And and I'm not saying that to cause drama or whatever. It's literally like out in the open. Like, check their Instagrams and everything. Like, they're kind of like going back and forth. And we're all of the actors in the middle are just like, can y'all please just like talk about this behind the scenes and try to figure something out, because the last thing we want to see is more divisiveness, especially among the people who are working actively in the craft and whatever. So I wanted to kind of bring that situation into conversation because Actors Equity I think it was not too long ago, they had just kind of reached some sort of compromise with Disney when it came to live performers and making sure, you know, that the actors were being safe, that we're going to perform under safe conditions with the whole COVID-19 and all the pandemic and just all of these guidelines and everything. And then, you know, Disneyland is still closed. And according to Disney, Disneyland is really the one that kind of is giving the company a big hit, because Disneyland has been closed since March. And I don't want anybody to talk about the opinions about what's going on in California, whether it be good or bad. It's just a fact. Disneyland has been closed since March, and Disney said, you know what, we have been able to operate safely in Orlando and in other parks in the world. Come on, like, open, let us open. And then the government in California keeps going back and forth, and then they keep taking tours around the parks. And I think the governor went to Orlando and took a tour of Disneyland, but then like it's been kind of like back and forth. That's all I'm trying to say. It's just been back and forth. There's really not been a concrete solution. And then to top it all off, Disneyland Paris is closing because of the surge of COVID cases in Europe. So yeah, Disney, I understand that a lot of executives are probably going home and drinking some alcohol. I remember like reading some posts that some cast members were saying, you know, like this is their dream job and they have to say goodbye for now, and they're just so sad and disheartened. And a lot of cast members are really, really upset. A lot of them are just anxious. A lot of them really did just love this job. It's just a very sad situation. I guess that brings the topic, what does that mean for the future of Disney? Is the magic still there? Where is the magic, if anything? And most importantly, what can we do to show gratitude towards our beloved cast members and to help? First, before anything, if you're going to Disney World, number one thing I will say is just be respectful, be overly nice, be overly kind. Don't get upset when someone tells you to put on your mask or to, you know, whatever. Whether you're on the mask debate or not on the mask debate, it doesn't matter. It's out of the employees' hands. They're just following the rules. They're just enforcing the rules. They have no say. Believe me, if they can avoid a confrontation, they will. And just be respectful, be nice, be courteous, be above and beyond when it comes to being a guest at Disney World, because Disney cast members are going through a stressful time. They're already full of anxiety. They're like literally taking it day by day to see if they're going to get laid off from their jobs and they're not going to have any income or whatever their situation is. Like, they're literally taking it day by day, hopefully, you know, making it to another day where they don't get that dreaded email that everybody's kind of not wanting, right? So if you could just be kind and be nice and say thank you and be overly kind and be overly nice, it just goes a long way, and it has the power to really, really just shift someone's mood. Because again, right now, it's just, things are just so uncertain, and it's just, we don't know. Some people say things are going to get better. Some people say things are going to get worse. We literally all collectively in general in the world are just trying to take it a day at a time, or we should at least be trying to take it a day at a time. So just be kind. The second thing I would say is I'm going to leave a link down below. I'm going to pin it to, it's going to be a pinned comment for this video. Pretty much what this link is a link that a friend sent me. It was from the WDW Info blog website on how you can help in regards to financial help or food banks or whatever the case may be for Disney cast members who have lost their jobs. And again, that link is going to be down below. If you can, if it's in your will, if you're able to, donate, help these cast members out. And I mean, that's really just goes without saying. I think right now it's important that we try to, you know, give back as much as possible if we can. And just in general, that's just a general rule of thumb, I think, for this year, is to give back if we can, because not everybody has been fortunate enough. But if it's in your will, I would say help, donate as much as you can, and a little bit does go a long way. The third thing is, you know, again, these cast members are taking it a day at a time. They're trying to get through another day where they don't get that dreaded email. If a cast member goes above and beyond for you, if a cast member brings some magic to you, if a cast member just anything that they do that's positive, give them the recognition that they deserve. It might not be the cure-all to the problems that's going on and the layoffs and everything, but anything that we can do to just show gratitude and appreciation to these cast members, you know, let them be recognized for us. I mean, heck, who knows if it may influence something or not. But if you're on Twitter, go make sure you're following, or if not, tag at WDW Today. That is one of the official Disney World, or yeah, one of the Disney World Twitter handles, and pretty much use the hashtag cast compliment and just say briefly in whatever many characters just about your experience, what the name of the cast member was, and in which resort or in which area they work at, where did they help you, and just briefly say, you know, like, hey, this person did this and this, just want to thank you, etc., whatever is in your heart to say to make sure that they get some sort of recognition. If you guys have any other ideas on how we can help and or at least show appreciation to our to the Disney cast members, to our beloved Disney cast members, please leave a comment down below, share it with everyone. I'd be more than happy to participate as much as I can. A little does go a long way during these times, so do it, please. So what's next for Disney? Where's the magic? Is the magic still there? Will the magic ever come back? I'll say a couple weeks ago, as I said earlier, when I went to Disney, I mean, it was just the talk of, it was on everybody's mind amongst cast members. And the only thing I always remember is there can't be light without dark. There can't be highs without lows. And sometimes I even think to myself, you know, I think if Roy and Walt were to be able to say something to us, they would say, you know what, just hang in there, it's gonna get better. And I remember seeing this post on Instagram, I'll put it like right here, and pretty much it kind of spoke volumes to me. But I think as far as if the magic is still there at Disney, I think yes, but I think it's kind of a magic of hope. Big things are going to come to Disney World. I mean, the 50th anniversary is next year, and I think all of us being a Disney family, I think we're all going to be able to look back on this time and think, you know what, if we can make it through 2020, we can do anything, right? And a lot of us Disney nerds, Disney means the world to us. Disney is our, like, what we breathe. It's our lifestyle, right? And it's really hard and difficult to be seeing these news, and I think right now is just a challenge. It's one of the biggest challenge, if not the biggest challenge, that Disney has had to endure. And it's a lot about redefining, remembering the magic and hanging on to that feeling of the magic that we feel at Disney. And it's been crazy. It's been crazy, but I have a really good feeling about what is to come to Disney. But we have to get through this hurdle and and just see how it goes. People keep saying, you know, people have saying like things are gonna get better. Other people have said things are gonna get worse. Other people say things are going to be the same for a while. Really, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Everything right now is just full of contradictions. I think the only thing we can do is to just hang on tight and take it day by day. And this goes for us, Disney lovers, and of course, Disney cast members and everything, but I do believe that the magic is still there. It's a magic of hope, is what I like to call it. And with that being said, I'm signing off, you guys. Have a great day, great week, great month, great year, whatever the case may be, and I'll see you guys on the next video.